Miller. His name did surface in court testimony involving a case where his former teammate and another man, they've been indicted for capital murder in the fatal shooting of 23-year-old Jamia Harris in January. The University of Alabama has described Miller as a cooperating witness. How is this factoring, if at all, into how teams are evaluating him?
Yeah, Malika, part of the
I don't think it would be brought up at all if it wasn't for Malika just bringing it up on national television right now.
And vet every player, whether you have the second pick in a draft or...
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. We need to have an honest conversation about the fact that some people just hate black men. And I get it. You know, we have some black men that have had problems. Let's say, for example, Bernard Hopkins in his early life had, I believe, a manslaughter charge, and spent 8 or 9 years in prison. And he had to prove himself to the world that he was a changed man. He was disciplined. I can even see a brother like Randy Moss, who a lot of NFL teams passed him up, I believe in the 97 or 98 draft. You know, he had an issue, couldn't make it at Florida State, couldn't make it at Notre Dame, ended up going to Marshall. Yeah, I see that, right? Jack Jones, who's the cornerback over in New England Patriots. The guy's a problem person, right? But now, this guy that was drafted the second pick in the NBA draft, Brandon Miller, this guy has done nothing wrong, right? He went to Alabama. He was a great player. And the only thing that happened was his name was mentioned in a capital murder charge where the friend, I believe, Darius Miles, messaged him about a gun or something like that. He was not involved. He was not charged. He has nothing to do with that. But Malika Andrews always needs to bring down black men. We've seen how she treated Stephen A. Smith. We've seen how she did Jalen Rose. And, you know, she just had to bring out the fact of what was happening with him, which nothing is happening with him. If that was the case, he wouldn't have gotten drafted number 2 picks in the draft. That's a lottery pick. You don't waste your pick on a guy like that who has problems. Same thing with Allen Iverson. Remember, Allen Iverson missed his senior year of high school based on the fact that he got hit with a maiming the mob charge. I believe he's actually on his way to Kentucky. And then John Thompson took a shot on Allen Iverson at Georgetown. All right? Now, if you want to be skeptical because a guy has a past, which I believe those charges ended up being dropped, that's different. This guy was not implicated in this whatsoever. He can't help his dumbass friend, you know, or message him. He wasn't there. He didn't shoot nobody. Didn't know what was going on. Somebody texted him. And the thing about it is Malika Andrews hates black men. It's terrible. And I want to tell you guys seriously what I honestly believe and what I believe needs to happen going forward. You see, the reason why black men are so easily picked on by everybody, and I'm even going to say in certain instances, pro-blacks, feminists, it's a difference between being honest about black men's failures and just, you know, having an agenda to be against black men. I'm going to tell you why it happens, because black men typically are an easy scapegoat. That's what's going to happen, okay? Black men easily are an easy scapegoat. It's easy to hate on them. And the reason why it's so easy to hate on them, because black men haven't figured out that, you know, in this particular life, you got to keep people off you. And the way that black men look at it is, well, long as they don't want to pull up. I get all of that, right? But the reason why we're failing as African-American men is because we have to somehow understand how other groups protect themselves, okay? We've seen how black women do it. We're just gonna be real. Black women have figured out as a group, you know, these conferences that bring us together, once they bring us together, they get funded. Once they bring us together, they understand people, you have advertisers, and then it gives us power, right? So Black Girls Rock comes out there, all of these things, you get people wanting to support, fund it, right? Here's what you get. Now you're funding yourself. Once you start funding yourself, then you start to become an economy. Once you become an economy, then you can reinvest into your issues. This is what do. This is what Muslims do. And I'm going to be honest. I remember when I was only 20 when it happened, but you know, the Twin Towers and the hatred that a lot of people in America have for Muslims and those who were in Islam. It was crazy. You could say almost anything about Muslims at that particular time in the country and almost get away with it. Get away with it all day long. All right? And nobody could really, punish you because I believe like a lot of people really felt similar towards Islam or Muslims in America at that time. This is what I'm saying. So, but now here's what I want to discuss because this is very important for me. I want to discuss this. Why am I wanting to discuss this? Because why? Listen to what I'm about to say. Muslims now, you cannot talk about them in America. It was almost like the same thing with in the 80s. You can make jokes about them, live in color, look at all that. You cannot do that now. Can't do it now. No way, no how. That is because they've understood, like, listen, people who are against us, we need to have friends in the industry. And those friends in the industry that are basically our allies, we need to push up on them and punish those people for even thinking about talking about us in any kind of way. Those people have to be dealt with immediately. Now, quick, fast, in a hurry. Period. It has to be dealt with right away. And if we don't deal with them, they're going to continue their hatred towards us, which we're not going to stand for. Period. And this is what people do when they're intelligent. Now, people like Malika Andrews, like nobody's going to stop her. I'm going to be honest, because number one, why would they stop her? I mean, she's being completely ridiculous. And people gonna look at it, well, look, you black men can, fend for yourself and all of that. But the reality is this is complete hatred. Complete hatred. What is it about you that hates this guy so much? Are the men? It's always black. It's never anybody else. Why is that even the case that we're bringing up something that clearly he wasn't identified with? You couldn't talk about the attributes in this game? No, let's bring them down. And people are going to continue to do that until you can defend yourself. It's called intellectual punking. Look, you guys can't defend yourself, or you're not interested in defending yourself. So we're going to continue to come after you as a group, whether it's the feminists, whether it's the Democrats, telling you, hey, look, vote how we tell you to vote. It doesn't matter what you think. Look, man, you got to make guys pay. Listen, Malika, you need to get on there and apologize. But when you don't have nobody to make her apologize to what, and then it comes to how black men view each other. Like, this is one of the things we got to talk about. This is why we need black men to work together, black men to help each other, black men to come together and solve the issues and the agendas. And because when you get that, then you can't get people talking about you because you can make them pay. But when you don't work together, you can never do that. You can only be disgruntled. And nobody cares about us if we're disgruntled as a group, because there's no power in being disgruntled. You're just mad. Who cares? Nobody cares about somebody if you're mad. It doesn't matter if you're mad. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.